Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Keith, and you're watching Barber's Auto Help. Thank you so much for watching. Today I've got a radiator here. It's got a crack in it. Got a nice crack right there, and it's just leaking like a sieve. And I wanted to make a video on the do's and don'ts on repairing something like this. First, I'm going to go over the don'ts, and this is my experience and my opinion on this, so take all this with a grain of salt. I'm sure there are people out there that have used these methods and had great success with them. However, I've never been able to get good results from these methods here. So first of all, I wouldn't recommend using any kind of a plastic weld. Any kind of a weld in a bottle, no particular brand. And to point out there, I've tried many, and there's just something about the plastic, the coolant, the heat of the coolant. It just doesn't allow for that stuff to adhere to the plastic very well and seal it up real good. I've never had good luck with that. So in my opinion, that's not a good way to repair something like this. Also, there's an old mechanics trick out there where you can take a little bit of pepper and put it in the radiator, maybe a teaspoon or something, put it in the radiator, let the vehicle run, and that pepper can clog up any kind of a leak you might have. I wouldn't recommend that, not on the modern vehicles nowadays. On these modern systems, you got very small tubes going through these radiators, going down or sideways, whichever way your coolant flows through there, and you run the risk of clogging those tubes up and causing your vehicle to overheat potentially. Also, there's a good chance you might clog up your heater core inside your dashboard there. So you don't want to do that. We don't want to cause a problem, we want to fix a problem. So those two methods, in my opinion, are not good for this. And there's also the old egg trick, putting a little bit of egg white inside the radiator. You know, I wouldn't recommend that either. You just don't want to cause any more problems with your vehicle than you already have. So throw those out the door, guys. There are some ways you can repair this, though. One way is you can take the whole radiator out, send it down to a radiator shop, unless you have the special equipment to do this, and you can have just your tanks replaced on your radiator. You don't have to replace the whole radiator to fix something like this. They'll take these tanks off, put a new tank on with a new seal that goes between the core and the radiator tank. And oh, by the way, there's another tank on the bottom here. This one has a top tank and a bottom tank. Yours may have a side tank on either side there. Either way, similar problems, similar situations, and similar fixes. So you know, you have to have a radiator shop be able to do that for you, and there's not a lot of people that do that nowadays. So good luck on trying to find somebody to repair something like that in that manner. Now, the best way, the very best way, in my opinion, is just to replace the whole thing. Really, you can get a radiator for around $100 nowadays. There's no reason to risk ruining your several $1,000 vehicle over a $100 part. So just go ahead and get you another one. It'll come with new tanks. You'll know that it'll last a good long time for you, and you shouldn't have any problem out of it, at least not leaking. So, you know, that's just my 2 cents on it, guys. I really hope this helps somebody. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'll be happy to get back to you. Also, before you apply any of this knowledge, there's a description below this video here. If you're watching on YouTube, please read that entire description. A lot more very good information, very important information that you need to know in that description there. Now, if you're watching this video on a platform other than youtube.com, you may need to go to youtube.com/Barber's Auto Help. Find this video there so that you can access the description below it. Just look beneath the video, guys. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe.